My 21F boyfriend, 22M, spent $4,000 on a Master Chief suit when he doesn't even have a job. I've been with my boyfriend for about a year now, and he's a really nice and sweet person. He always makes sure to give me his all, and genuinely cares about my happiness. Today, I get home from work and automatically I notice a huge shipping box opened by the front door. I am intrigued, but since it's empty, I just keep walking towards the living room. Then I see him, on the couch, in a full Master Chief suit. I'm like, "Babe, is that you?" He's like, "Oh hey babe, how was work?" And I'm like, "Good, what's up with the Master Chief suit?" He's like, "You like it?" I got it online and it was simply too awesome to pass up. And I ask, "It's really nice, how much was it?" He says, $4,000. And I said, "Oh, that's funny, how much was it really?" And he says, "No really, it was $4,000. So at this point I'm livid. I start yelling and asking him how he afforded it, and the whole ordeal was very heated. I find out he put it on a credit card, and I just get so pissed that I leave. We barely make ends meet now, so it boggles me how he doesn't even have a job yet decides that $4K on a Master Chief costume is fine. What do I do at this point? Top comments. Johnny_shitbags. You leave him. He is too incompetent when it comes to money and dealing with the real world. Windbag 1980. Run. This dude will go bankrupt before he figures out how money works. This is not hyperbole, I mean the literal, legal definition of bankruptcy. I am 40 and I saw it with my peer group. Electric Fox. He spent $4,000 on a cosplay outfit that literally achieved nothing. The only place or time he can wear it is at conventions and Halloween. The guy could be Jeff Bezos' bastard, he still wasted $4,000 he put on a, likely, 20% interest rate credit card. Drush. Sell him on eBay. Sweet Callahan. If you sell him dressed in the suit, that's $4,001 in your pocket. Also, what is a Master Chief suit? Salmon 352. Master Chief is the main protagonist from Halo. Income Trader 18. A $4,000 Master Chief suit must be freaking awesome. Sours 3. That's what I'm saying. Someone link me to this suit. LMAO. Ice Cream Burgers 29 11 hours 32 minutes. Master Chief suit. Nani Ofkin. Important, you are not able to wear the suit by yourself without any help from at least one assistant. Who did he get to help him put on the suit then? Agamenon 22. Shit, that actually looks pretty cool, lol. On the other hand, it's pretty funny imagining the Master Chief just chilling on a sofa, lol. Update. First of all, I just want to appreciate all of the comments on the original post. I didn't expect it to blow up like it did. And thanks for the silver. So after the post, I decided to confront my BF about the suit and hopefully talk some sense into him. After a long heated argument, he decided he had enough and stormed out and left my house. In the argument he defended his action, saying that it was his money to spend and that he doesn't give me shit when I go out and buy a Louis Vuitton. Anyways, so he wouldn't budge at all. He left the house and after several hours of no contact, I was curious where he'd be staying the night as he lives in my house. I go on Life 360 expecting to see him with his mothers or friends, but he's at a house I don't recognize. I text him and ask him where he's at, and he responds saying it's none of my business. Alright, what the fuck ever. Next day I wake up to another text, this message being from his phone but not him. The message read, "You're a selfish bitch, who can't even respect BF's wishes to look like his and my favorite video game character. He's a sexy man both inside the suit and out. So don't bother texting BF again." So yeah. I guess he'd been cheating on me. I don't even care at this point, just ready to move on. I left his shit on my porch and told him he has 48 hours to come get it. Then I cancelled his phone line, which I paid for on my Verizon account. Definitely not how I expected this to go. Top comments. Lily O'Feely. I have this mental image of some dude in the Master Chief suit with a mean girl clinging to his back and hissing it up fucking yikes. See Calamity. I shouldn't laugh, but that is one heck of an image. Jujamofu. I really want to know if the argument and the leaving afterwards all happened while he was in the Master Chief suit. Just a dude arguing with his girl, storming outside, jumping into his warthog to teabag another girl. This has some straight-up RBN the Chief vibes. L1ZS 3860. He probably wrote that text himself to make you jealous. Mihole. I love this idea. He's sulking on some dude's couch still in the armor. Yeah, this will show her what a catch I am that someone else thinks I'm hot wearing this, and out of it, she'll come running back to me. Next day. Well shit, at least I have this kick-ass costume and my phone, oh shit. Moving to the second story. Am I the asshole for causing the miscarriage of my husband's affair partner? Throw away for obvious reasons. I don't know where to begin or where to end this story. I can't discuss this with anyone I know because I feel like an asshole while also feeling justified at the same time. This story will also sound made up, but it's really not, and I'm just hurting and want some place to type it all out too. I, F36, have been with my husband, M39, for over a decade. Early on, I had to have a hysterectomy due to health complications and told him if he wanted kids, we should go our separate ways. He insisted he was strictly child-free and didn't want kids. In every other way, we were perfect for each other. A few years into our marriage, we even had the chance to adopt a little girl from a family member's unplanned pregnancy. I was thrilled, but he still didn't want kids, so she was adopted elsewhere. Not being a mom hurt, but I accepted it. Sometime back, my husband started acting weird. You know how you just know when someone you love changes? He came home late, avoided sex, and was cold. He denied anything was wrong, but I could tell he was lying. Whenever I tried to talk to him about it, he'd tell me I'm being psycho and controlling. So, I snooped through his phone and found evidence of a very long affair. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. I needed that peace of mind. His mistress, F26 or 27, whom he'd introduced to me as his cousin, was around less than 2 months pregnant. They were discussing marriage after he divorced me. He admitted he didn't want to divorce me yet because he would lose our house, which I funded entirely. He'd also been using our joint account, which I contribute significantly more to, I earn considerably more than him, to pay for her rent and hospital expenses. When I confronted him, he admitted to the affair and her pregnancy. She came over, and things got heated. I tried to blame him, not her, but after a lot of tears and fighting, I lost control and told them that I hoped they lost the child. I'm not proud of it, but I said it. He moved out of my house the next day, not sure where they live now. A few weeks later, she had a miscarriage. They blame me and believe I caused it. She came to our house, slapped me, banged my head against the wall, and kicked me. I was not significantly injured. He didn't hurt me physically, but he didn't stop her either. Yes, I was foolish to let them in, but I am in a weird mental state too and didn't expect her to hit me. Maybe I deserved it. I may have felt the same if someone said something like that about my unborn child and lost it. I won't file charges because it's not an option in my country, and maybe I deserved the beating for what I said. I just want to know if I'm the asshole, and if yes, how big of an asshole I am. Thanks. Edit. What I said was so unforgivable in my religion. Wishing something bad on an unborn baby is unforgivable. It's not some small thing, that's why I feel like an asshole. A child is considered God's blessing. I said all that and cursed them, and maybe my anger and envy created Nazar. That's why I think I'm an asshole. Logically, I know I didn't cause it to actually happen, but the bad thing happened because I thought bad, and because I was hurt, my bad thoughts had an effect. Relevant comments. OP on the discussion she had with her husband about having children despite her health complications. OP, because I was never sure whether he was child-free because I couldn't have kids, or if he really was child-free because he wanted to be. So when we had the opportunity to adopt a child, I wanted to pursue it to have a chance at being parents, if he wanted it too. Assault isn't okay in my country either, but we have a poor judicial system and no one is likely to take me seriously for some minor temporary injuries. I'd also rather not drag this out any further. OP on the divorce laws in her country. OP, divorce laws in my country somewhat favor the woman and the house title is on my name. For a criminal case, I'll have to go to the police, who are very corrupt, convince them to file a case, and then all of this will become entirely public, which I want to avoid. I don't want to interact with the police here, which is one more reason I don't want to press charges. Amethyst Sapper, I have several questions. How is Nazar different from karma? How is it more real than karma? Isn't having sex with a married man wishing bad things on another woman? Now you have made many hints at the type of country you live in. Most of them tend to have more women in the home than the workplace. I am very impressed if you are a little confused as to you making more money, and buying the house, etc. OP, yes, it is not common, but my husband and his family gave me permission to work. I do not go to an office but have a business, so I am allowed to continue doing it. In my religion it is not prohibited for women to hold property, and you can even ask for it during your marriage. I did not want to mention which country because people may judge me. Nazar is real because it is true and I have faced it. Yet again, after this incident, I believe that Nazar is real. Karma is just a magical concept. You cannot be born again and again, so it is fake. Update. I've been meaning to post an update for a while now, but was just so occupied with everything going on. After everything that happened, my in-laws found out that my husband and I are staying separately, because he also stopped sending them money for their upkeep. They called me, and I told them everything honestly, including what I said. My in-laws completely took my side. They threatened to cut their son out of their lives for his infidelity and were also angry about the embarrassment he has caused them. They've told him that the only way he can make it up to them is by obtaining my forgiveness and making it up to me. I'm thankful for them. They also informed my parents and reassured them that they'll be supporting me no matter what. I've been living with my in-laws since. Many of you were right, she was never pregnant and never had a miscarriage. She couldn't provide any evidence of pregnancy or a miscarriage. According to my mother-in-law, I think my husband realized she'd been lying about her pregnancy only after leaving me. It also turns out that she really is my husband's distant cousin. So he wasn't lying about that, at least. She apparently begged my in-laws not to tell her own parents, but they went ahead and told them anyway. Word spread, and she is now in shame for premarital sex, that too with a married man. I don't know specific details about her, but I think she's pretty much been put under house arrest by her parents other than for absolutely essential trips. My parents are too old to have much of an opinion. They are reassured that my in-laws are on my side and are happy with anything I do. My husband and I are still not on good terms, but I still love him very much. I need time to heal from this and a proper apology, which I'm yet to receive. But once I do, I'm inclined to take him back. I think he currently resents me because of the backlash he got. I think he was fully expecting me to be on the receiving end of it, as I was, and is upset that his parents took my side. But eventually, I think he will realize the error of his ways. I don't know if this update is happy or not, but my heart feels lighter. I wanted to update because so many people reached out to me offering words of comfort and support both on the post and in DMs. I read all of it, even if I couldn't reply to everyone personally. Thank you to everyone. Edit, I'm not Indian, not that I have any problems with India or Indians. I'm 36 years old and it'll be hard for me to find anyone else after this. I'm not being a doormat, I'm being practical so I won't be lonely later. Comments. Popular_document 1399, OP, I am truly sorry about this. However, you will be making a very big mistake to take this man back. He cheated on you with his distant cousin, and supported his AP's lies that she was pregnant. He doesn't deserve you, nor does he respect you. You should completely divorce him and get him out of your life. Just think about this, OP, you deserve to be happy. Beck 2010, I'm sorry, OP, but you need to grow up and grow a spine. Harsh words incoming, you need to read them. Let's see. He cheated on you. He stole from you. He allowed his AP to physically assault you. He lied to you multiple times. And after all of this, you take him back if he apologizes. Come on. Have a little self-respect. You have a great job. You own the home. File for divorce, get some therapy, and learn that you are worth so much more than how you've been treated. Moving to the third story. Am I the asshole for taking my stepson on outings without my son? I 38M have a son and a stepson who are both similarly aged, my son Mark 15M and stepson Luke 14M. Mark was definitely a mama's boy, and unfortunately his mom/my wife died when he was 8. It's been a huge struggle raising him, especially since he has completely different interests to me, which is completely fine, but makes things difficult. Someone who has been a great figure in his life is my sister/his Aunt May, as she is really into the same interests as Mark and they have a great time whenever she babysits. A few years ago I met my girlfriend Laura 37F, who was a single mom since Luke's dad was never in the picture. Me and Luke actually really hit it off since Laura introduced me to him. He never really had any male role models, since Laura only had sisters, and her dad died when she was a teenager. He's also into a lot of the same stuff I'm into, which is where the conflict started to arise. I've tried a couple of times to take Mark to football matches, but he just doesn't have any interest in it, so many looked after Mark when I'd go to football games a couple of times a year. However, Luke was incredibly excited to go to games with me, as he's never been before but is a big fan. Recently, May spoke to me in private and said that Mark was incredibly jealous of Luke spending time with me alone, and asked that I not go to a Formula 1 event with him next weekend. I asked Mark if he wanted to go, but had no interest in it. They both are really good friends, but Mark felt like I loved Luke more than him, which admittedly broke my heart. Even though he doesn't go to football with me, I still make sure to take him to things that he'd enjoy, such as West End shows, and concerts of his favorite singers. I said to May that although I understand and try to speak to Mark, it would be incredibly unfair to Luke to stop taking him out and to not take him out next week when he's been excited for it for so long. May said that I needed to put my own son first and that I was damaging my relationship with him. Those words have kind of cut deep, and I was wondering AITA. Relevant comments. OOP clarifies. Just to clarify, I didn't mean mama's boy in a bad way at all. It was a term my wife used to use for him considering how close they were, and also to highlight that it was a huge blow for him when she died. When he was younger, he was kind of shameless about his mom being the favorite parent in a really cute way. Commenter, info, do you offer to take him to West End shows etc., or does he have to ask? Do you show enthusiasm for his interests, or are you just going along? OOP, both, if that makes sense. I'll often ask if he wants to go do something on a weekend/bank holiday, and he picks a show he'd like, and if there's something new or that he really wants to go to, he'll ask me. I try to show enthusiasm as much as I can, but I can't match his energy. For example, the last thing we went to together was a Taylor Swift show, and I don't think I could even nearly match the enthusiasm of Mark, May and the rest of the crowd. I do like seeing how happy it makes him though. OOP is voted YTA. Update post, June 30th, 2024, 3 days later. First of all, I want to thank everyone who gave comments. I felt some of the comments and messages I received were judgmental and hurtful, but accepted that most people seemed to think I was the asshole in the situation, so rather than defend myself, my priority was to make things right with my son Mark. I spoke to him and opened up by telling him how much I loved him and how I wouldn't change anything about him, and that he inherited all of the qualities I loved so much about his mother. He seemed pretty confused when I said that and said he really appreciated it but asked where it was coming from. I told him that I heard that he was getting jealous about the time I was spending with Luke one-on-one, and that I'd hate for him to think or feel that I was abandoning him by spending time with Luke. He then had a bit of an embarrassed look on his face and reassured me that he didn't feel abandoned or jealous of Luke. I then mentioned how May said otherwise, and he then visibly cringed. He then told me that he was jealous, but of me rather than Luke. That he thought Luke was incredibly nice to him when they first met and was really excited to have a friend like him since most of his friends through his school and clubs are girls. That he'd like to spend more time hanging out just the two of them, but he's much interested in hanging out with me rather than him. I instantly felt relief about the situation, and asked if he spoke to Luke about hanging out more, and he said that he hasn't as he didn't know what to ask to do or to come across as weird. I asked what they both had in common, and he said they liked similar video games, music and film/TV, so I offered to buy them both tickets to any upcoming film they'd both want to see, and that if there are any upcoming concerts or gigs that they'd want to go to, that I'd buy them tickets if that's something they'd like. Mark was really happy at that suggestion, as well as Luke and Laura. Especially Laura, because Luke doesn't really have many friends and she was really worried about how he would get on if there was any blending of families. So turns out they were both wanting to be better friends with each other, but neither one wanted to express it out of fear of rejection from the other. OOP's comment. Have to admit that when I saw the comments and messages in the original that I was really scared I fucked up big time, but over the moon that everything worked out.